All right. So we are here for another review of last week's fantasy season as things are continuing to heat up in the NFL as we enter into week 6 of the season. As we know how we love to kick things off, Jared, what's our kickoff question this week?
As you said, things are heating up in the NFL, but the question I have for you gentlemen tonight is which one of these NFL coaches is on the hot seat, most likely to be fired first? Because some of these records are hot garbage.
I would honestly say Arizona just because of what happened over the weekend. Oh boy, lost his damn temper, and the team fined him 100 grand. So it's like,
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon. That's his
yeah,
name.
yeah.
No relation to the homie Rich Gannon. Just
I was thinking, I'm like, he acted like
nah.
he was raised in the Raiders organization.
No relation, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that the team overreacted. Yes. So did he make contact with his player? I think that any of us who've played sports have had times where a coach has grabbed the shoulder, grabbed the arm. Like, it happens. But I think in the context of the boneheaded play that
It was
player
worth
had
it.
just committed, the fact that he didn't go off worse, he should actually get credit for
Yeah.
not going off harder. Like I get it. And the fact of the matter is, I saw TJ Houshmandzadeh comment and said if the player had put his hands on the coach, he'd be cut, etc. Well, if your coach called inside slant play on second and goal from the 2 yard line in the Super Bowl, I think you should get to go upside your coach's head. But because
Oh, Seattle.
sometimes
Oh, Pete Carroll.
emotions get the best of you in the moment after a play like that on the field. But I mean, hopefully that they'll all be able to move forward because yeah, that is that was one of a couple of games this weekend, with three games this weekend that were lost in very, very interesting fashions, which actually got the Titans their first win of the season. So shout out to young Cam Ward getting his first professional win. But yeah, man, I think that he's number one on the hot seat. Um, I still think that what's my man's name? McDaniel. I think McDaniel is still not off the hot seat down in Miami. I think that yeah, I think that it might be on a simmer, but the
Uh,
heat is still under his feet.
can we just blow up the Cleveland Browns? Just everything. Just
For what?
like right? They might keep him because he's what is this, year 5, year 6? Kevin
There's
Stefanski.
no there's no hope of
He's
turning
probably
around the season. There's no chance of making a playoff run. You just decided, okay, we just gonna roll with this throughout the season. So if you're gonna make a coaching change, you might as well take your time and actually make it a real coaching search in the off season. Because some coaches are gonna be available after this off season. So then you can see what's actually out there. But what's the point? Like,
Bill Belichick might be back.
yeah.
I mean,
nah.
I'm not trying to be funny, but it ain't working real good for him in college right now.
I did read somewhere that they have already discussed his buyout at UNC, so he
Hmm.
could be back.
That's their fault. That is their fault. You hired a person that hasn't coached. I don't know if Belichick ever
I don't think he ever
actually.
coached college because I
I don't
think
think he
fresh
ever
his
coached
first coaching job he
college.
was like running back coach or linebacker coach for Cleveland actually way
So,
before he was head coach. I think.
but yeah, you hired Bill Belichick because of his name, but Bill Belichick doesn't resonate with the younger generation like a Deion. Like if your goal was to try to catch that Deion Sanders wave of a high profile NFL pedigree um, in your college to try to generate some interest, Belichick ain't the one to do it. Like that, I'm sorry. Like yeah, he has a great pedigree, but when have you ever known for Bill Belichick to have a personality where he can sit in those rooms and convince
That's true.
parents
He
to come
can't.
or convince kids to come and play for them? Nah, he's not a dynamic personality like that. Like
Hmm.
brilliant, brilliant football mind, probably one of the greatest to ever do it. But people, come on now.
Yeah, that's not his strength. But 1975, Baltimore Colts, special assistant.
So yeah, so the man has never coached. Again, not that he doesn't have the ability to coach, but much like what I mean, even look at Herman Edwards. I know it was a failed experiment when Herman Edwards tried to go down
Yeah,
to
Arizona State.
Arizona State. It's not what you once you start coaching pros, that's what you are. And we see it often go the other way as well with the failed experiment from really good college coaches that go to the NFL, but then go back to
Mm-hmm.
college because that's where they belong.
Nick
But
Saban, he did not do well as an NFL coach, but he rocked it as a college coach.
no,
So there's a perfect
he's
example.
Nick Saban was a college football coach. He
Mhm.
was not a professional football coach. Urban Meyer was not a professional football coach. He is a college football coach. Rick Pitino, just to switch to basketball real quick, Rick
Yeah.
Pitino was not a professional basketball coach. He is a college basketball coach, and that's where he should stay. But excellent question, Jared. So,
Here's one question for you. What about your coach, old Pete Carroll? That man,
no, not in the hot seat because
no,
the
I'm
fact of the
not. I'm not
matter.
talking about in the hot seat. He the only
Oh,
coach I can think of who went in college and pro and didn't do horrible. He was.
yeah.
He got.
Harbaugh as well, actually.
Yeah,
Harbaugh has not won the big
but
one
yeah,
in the
but
No,
that's
he
what
conference.
hasn't.
I.
He got there, but lost to his
He got
brother.
there, but he didn't win the big one.
Yeah.
So I think that until you win the big one in both leagues, you still have to say there's still an asterisk. Success, yes, I will give you that. They both have had success, but you got to win both of them. And
Yeah,
I think
fair
that's
enough.
why the list of coaches who have done it is that long. And hell, it's even shorter in the NBA. It's one name, or maybe I think it's two names in the NBA. I know it's Larry Brown and maybe one other person that did it in the NBA that won championships.
I think it's
But
only Larry Brown.
it might only, sometimes they be having those championships from the 50s, and I don't know every
Oh,
single
yeah.
coach. You know what I'm saying? It might be some
Yeah.
obscure Notre Dame coach that
Yeah.
coached Notre Dame, and then he,
Coach the Celtics or something back in the day.
right. So, but all right.
Yeah.
All right. So, just because it is the biggest news of the week so far, the other thing I wanted to talk about was what do you think about the Bengals picking up Joe Flacco?
I was surprised they didn't just let Jameis Winston take it. That actually kind of shocked me. It's because I'm like, why would you not? He's right there. Why the hell wouldn't you just let him take the reign? I think they would have just flourished with him at the helm. Not saying Flacco's bad, but he ain't Flacco from
You,
10 years ago.
you mean the same Joe Flacco that just got benched in favor of Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, the same cat.
Like, at least if you're going to trade for somebody, right? Trade for someone who still has the arm strength to get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins the ball.
Yeah.
Like you have a rookie running back, but until your passing game gets off the ground, the boy is not going to have room to run. Like the one game where Burrow had a really good game and you had your rookie, he actually went out there and was able to run. But I yeah, I scratched my head on that one because literally the day that Burrow went down, I put in our group chat, I think that they should probably go get Jameis Winston. Um, and then that was the rumor for that week. But it also makes me wonder what were the Giants wanting in return because they had to figure that, they might be a little bit desperate seeing how far off their team has fallen since Burrow's injury. So it could be a case of the asking price being too high, and so they went with what they could afford. But
Mm.
we'll see. Joe, I will say this: Joe is still a very smart player. At one time, I mean, coming out of college, Joe Flacco had one of the strongest arms. He had the strongest arm in his draft class by far, and he's had a pretty strong arm his whole career. But I mean, father time, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mhm.
you look at Aaron Rodgers. Like if you need the ball to go more than 25 yards, A-Rod ain't the man no more. A-Rod used to put it on 50 yards on a laser. Or now, if it's getting past 25 yards in the air, it's going to be a smart throw, not a hard throw. So we'll see what Flacco does because he does have weapons. Now, the good news with Joe is he definitely has better weapons in Cincinnati on the offensive side than he had in Cleveland, but we shall see. So
should be an interesting game this week.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So one other thing I wanted to ask about, in your opinion, after the first 5 weeks of the season, who should be more inclined to look for a trade? A team sitting at 5-0 or 4-1, or the team sitting at 1-4 or 0-5?
I think it depends on the team.
Yeah. If you had a bunch of injuries, then okay, if they get healthy, then I think my team will come back. You should just kind of stand pat, as they say. Or on the other end, if you 4-1, 5-0, and you see somebody whose team has just been floundering, because, for example, if you can go get Derrick Henry on the cheap because you think he's gonna bounce back later in the season because the Ravens got a tough schedule up front, then you go get Derrick Henry or something.
Right.
That's who the Chargers should go get. I'm just saying.
I think that the Chargers running back room is cursed this year.
True. And so is our O line, so is our D line. It's like,
yeah.
You gotta evaluate your team. You have to evaluate who in your league is willing to trade. Like if you've lost just some close matchups, then stick with what your team is and just know that eventually it's gonna come, you're gonna get them I don't want to say subpar matchups, but because we talked about this at work. There's a guy in our work league who is 5-0, but because I couldn't let him make it, I had to hit him with some facts. I said, man, you have played horrible teams. I'm like, you've gotten the luck of the draw. I literally told him, if you played my exact schedule, nothing changes. You go from 5-0 to 1-4. I'm like, it's all about matchups, sir. I'm like, so you've played the teams that we have perceived to be weaker. Now you got to play the strong teams. We'll see if you finish the week at 6-0.
That's what Jordan said. It's easy to talk when you're behind, when you ahead. Talk that smack when you behind, or it's a tie game. So we shall see. All right, let's jump into our week 5 results of the league. So this is one of those weeks where we actually get to all have good news. So let's start with Mr. Team Fight Me Back, who faced off against our homie Kirkwood. Dr. Deuce, break it down for us.
Well, let's just say everybody but his kicker had double digits, so it's a little hard to lose. I feel bad for Chris. Johnson didn't do what he has been doing week over week. I mean, he actually had a pretty good, solid game. I mean, honestly, I think if he faced me, I'd have lost. So again, just like Cameron said, it's all about the matchup at the time. So, but yeah, that is kind of crazy. Everybody got double digits except his kicker. Why the hell he had Arizona's kicker, I will never know. But I mean, that must be who was left when you went to look like shit. I need a kicker real quick. So,
I mean, even Amari and Hampton managed to score double digits
before he got hurt.
Right? That's just bad luck. So yeah, Chris had 2 underperforming players. Alvin Kamara didn't do much. And the crazy thing is, when you see that the Saints scored 26 points, you would expect Kamara to have a better contribution from a fantasy
2 touchdowns at least.
Right, and at least 1 touchdown.
Well, 1 rushing and 1 catching.
Something. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, the Chargers offense just could not go. And this is coming off back-to-back weeks of them just not being able to get going. So Quentin Johnston wasn't able to get into the end zone this week. But shout out to our co-host who now moves into first place on the league, sitting at 4-1.
Thank you, Debo. Thank you, Debo Samuel, for that late touchdown. That was the difference in the matchup.
Yes, it was.
It was.
All right. And then we will go over to Mathis King, where I will break down the woes of Muff Divers. After starting this season 2-0, he has dropped his third consecutive game.
I would like to say something that I don't think Mr. Muff Divers took in consideration. If you go look at his bench, there's a running back that he should have started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
the crazy thing is, we said that.
Yeah.
We said last week that we expected him to move Rashad White, especially knowing that Bucky Irving was out. We expected him to move him into the lineup. But the fact of the matter is that difference still wouldn't have been enough for him to get the W. Because to do that,
put him in the flex.
Yeah, that would have been the only way. But would he have put him in the flex?
But Jerry Jeudy probably shouldn't have played.
We're talking that
mainly
goes back to
this is true.
Joe Flacco,
also,
Gabriel. Yeah, I'm going against them.
And also the issue is this is why I don't like international games, especially dealing with Minnesota was over there for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. They had already lost one game, so they were not looking to lose the second game. But yeah, there's definitely that roster mistake definitely bounced in Mathis King's way. Because Mahomes had a good game in a loss to Jacksonville, which was just, I know, as my fellow AFC West was very happy. When you so here's the funny thing. When you have a fantasy player that's from a team you don't like, this is actually exactly what you want. You want them to have a good game
and still lose.
So
my wife and I were watching the game. She's all like, "Are we really rooting for the Chiefs?" I'm like, "No, just Patrick Mahomes. I don't give a damn what happens to the Chiefs."
Right. So yes, Mahomes had a good game that they lost, and so it was the double.
Kelsey finally got a 2-digit game too, so it's like, okay,
yes, he did. Yes, he did. And you called that. You said you expected him to have a good game, and so the stack worked out for you. So shout out to Mathis King.
And I picked up Sterling Shepard at the end, right before. I'm like, oh, I need someone for my flex, and so he got me 10 points. I was happy.
You always gotta love that. Always gotta love that. All right. And then since we're doing co-hosts, Jared.
Second loss in a row.
That's your homie, the Big Green. Break it down.
Oh, well, she found a way to make it competitive, that's for sure. That damn Rico, that damn Rico Dowdle.
Isn't he a rookie too?
Yes. No. Is he not a rookie?
He was in Dallas. Side note, he was in Dallas last year. They released him.
Oh, okay.
So if she she better keep him in the. I have a feeling he's gonna try to run all up and down the field on Dallas this week, but we'll talk about that later. Just saying. Malik Washington, who are you? Well, I know who you are, but if Malik Washington does anything,
man,
is there anybody on her bench?
He get 4 catches for no yards.
No, there's nobody.
How's that happen?
Before we started, we were talking about how we hate bye weeks. Can we scroll back up and talk about the fact due to bye week, she started the tight end for the Giants that no one expected to do anything, and he got 2 touchdowns. Bye weeks.
So she started 2 tight ends this week,
and they both did
good. Not only did she start 2 tight ends, they both caught 2 touchdowns. So this is where Yahoo got a chill on the post-game recaps, because her projected score was 88 points. She scored 136. She almost doubled the projection. Do you know Yahoo gave her a C+? What else could she have done?
Oh no. They're like, who the hell is Theo Johnson? Is he
right. She should have gotten an A on the strength of picking up and starting Theo Johnson alone.
That was on nobody else's roster, I'm sure, in Yahoo. Unless you related to him.
For real.
Yep, his cousin did start him this week.
You think Cutting Theo didn't start him? Oh, somebody had to start Cutting Theo.
We both had a surprising performance from a player like Jawan John. Again, when you're talking about the Saints scoring points, Johnson is their
You know
Top
what?
receiver.
You know what? But here's the thing
2 points.
here's the thing that we're failing that we're overlooking. Taysom Hill is back. Let me go
Yeah,
check.
that's true.
Let me
That's a
go.
fair point.
Now I gotta go check and see how many did Taysom Hill score some touchdowns. I
I
didn't
think he
watch this
threw.
game.
I don't remember.
Taysom Hill might be out here doing Taysom Hill things and just taking points away from people. He good for that.
God, I can't stand Taysom Hill from a fantasy standpoint. He's one of the all-time fantasy point vultures. There you
He
end up
is.
just like, where do my players' points go? Oh, Taysom Hill is back. Let me just see real quick.
Taysom Hill. I think every B. John Robinson fan hates Tyler Algier because he's known to do that.
Nope, Taysom didn't vulture anything.
I don't know who the hell scored the points.
So they had a 86-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, an 87-yard touchdown pass from Rashid Shaheed, and the rest of their points came off of 1, 2, 3, 4 field goals.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. There you have it.
All right. So this is the first time this season that all three of us have won our fantasy matchups on the same weekend. So that feels great. Now let's go to our highest scoring match of the weekend. Our high points winner from our good brother Ed Korn, who coming into the Monday night looked like he might have an outside shot of going for the league record, which Travis Etienne shut down promptly by doing absolutely nothing on Monday night. But still that late touchdowns from Jamar Chase definitely helped him out. So it really wasn't a matchup. Like, we all picked him to win that game, but wait, or did we? We're going to find out in a moment. But those of us who did pick him to win that game did not think it would be a close matchup. And so if you look at this lineup, we got some bye week fill-ins. Woody Marks. If you have another running back, you don't play him. You damn sure don't play two Raiders wide receivers if you have other choices on the same lineup.
That man spent large quantities of fab for these players. He might have started them on purpose.
But my thing is, you got Kareem Hunt on your bench. Kareem Hunt's definitely a better option than either Trey Tucker or Jacoby Meyer at the flex. So not that it would have helped. Not that it would have. So the only thing it would have done is make the margin of victory slightly smaller from
72 points or something,
40. So but yeah. So that's a bad beat for Company Man. Which now both teams are both sitting at 2 and 3. A friend of the program, our homie, the current champion, Super Mario Cristobal, and cousin of our co-host Jared, won his game with ease. Break it down.
Oh, he just actually, number one, I'm still shocked that Jake Browning scored 31 points. I don't. Like, how do you throw for 250 and 3 touchdowns? What were you doing? You finally figured out? And then they said, you know what? We know you trash. We're gonna bring in Joe Flacco, which might actually be a upgrade over you. But yeah, he has a bunch of single digit points over there.
Yeah, and nothing on the bench because bye
weeks. Yeah. If it wasn't for old Jake Browning, it really would have been a massive blowout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's a bunch of single points over there. But you know what? And then my cousin's team decided they were going to show up this week.
Right.
He's had some good weeks and bad weeks, and his
Houston's
team
kicker putting up 16. That's
crazy.
That's not no slouch right there.
But, 2 field goals over 50 yards. Yeah, he's out there booting.
He was booting that thing. All right, and then we have our final matchup.
Which was close because I thought I was going to get a perfect day because of this game. I'm like, man.
Our closest matchup of the day. Well, break it down for us, Dr. Deuce.
I was sitting there for that Monday night game. I'm like, man, stop throwing that cat the ball. Because they each had a receiver on each side. So it's like, damn. So Kansas City's out there. I'm like, stop throwing it to Worthy. He quick. Stop throwing it to him. I wanted for the first time ever to get all 6 picks right. I've never experienced that. I wanted to see it happen. And at first they threw it, and I'm like, Chuck and them were only up by like a 1 or 2 points, maybe. And then you see Worthy on the sideline without a helmet. I'm like, okay, we should be all right. And then they went ahead and threw it to what's his name,
Thomas.
Thomas. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
Thomas
it
got
was
another
like
catch.
like
He
a
got another
30
catch.
yard, like 35-yard catch on that
Yeah.
final drive or something like that.
And so I'm like, okay, I might just pull this out. And it was another week again. I got you those stats early.
Yes, it was. So after our picks this week, if you can see, we had not one, but two of your hosts had a perfect week. I actually have had a perfect week before. The first year we did this, I had my only perfect week, and now I've had my second one. And as did Dr. Deuce. So Raiders fan and Chargers fan came together and did something special. And so I made up a lot of good ground, and I have caught back up to Jared. So
Oh,
Jared,
Lord
let's see.
Jesus.
So yes, Jared did unfortunately picked Company Man on that game against Ed Corn. So that was the one he picked against us. And he also picked Hanging with Hernandez. So that was the closest game. So that was the game that really could have, if that game flips back and forth, we all end up with the with the same score.
5-6.
We all right. We all go 5-1 this week. So not a bad week for us. We all did a lot better than we have in the past.
And I'm still 60%. But anyway, go ahead.
So with that being said, Mr. 60%, let's jump right into the week 6 picks. Let's start with Ed Corn versus Super Mario Cristobal. Who you like in this one?
Ooh. Damn. Both quarterbacks have good matchups going on.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Well,
Yeah, I like Kenneth Walker against Jacksonville's no
bench.
defense.
Yeah, nothing really on the bench that looks like it might get switched up.
I mean, Jalen Waddle maybe put him in, but where? Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, no, if I was Mook, I'd keep it exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Does
I'm
he
gonna go
have
with Acorn.
Does he have a tight end?
Oh, shoot,
Just
good
wondering.
call.
Let's see.
His
I didn't
is
see
on
that.
by.
Yeah, he does. Is Brock Bowers gonna play
Is Brock playing this week?
That's the question.
Oh, he didn't practice today.
He needs to
He
go.
will be
I
inactive.
I
Yeah,
would
I don't think he's
suspect
gonna
that Brock will not return until after our bye week. So he's gonna have to pick up a tight end, and
Yeah.
there's not that many out there on the waiver wire.
Let me see who's available. I'm still gonna go with Acorn though. I mean,
Okay.
watch, he gonna pick up Taysom Hill. That's who he gonna pick up. But
Right. It wouldn't be a bad pickup because Lord knows Taysom is good for for a crazy.
Eric Ingram's still out there. Eric Ingram's out there. I
That's
mean,
not
I'd
bad.
pick him up.
That's not a bad pickup. All right, who do you like, Jared?
I'm going with my cousin because I like more of the matchups on his side. That Chicago defense is still questionable. I think this might be the week that the Chargers get their lives together because Miami's defense is good for letting people gash them for points. Cortland Sutton versus the Jets, another team whose defense has not looked real great this year. Then you got Kenneth Walker against Jacksonville. You got Tyler Warren versus Arizona. He got another Commanders player again. Like those matchups just look good. He's gonna have to go find a kicker because I know the Texans are on by. But yeah, I think he pulls out a close one.
I am going to agree with you. I also like Super Mario Cristobal, and I think his matchups are just a little bit better.
It's okay. I'll take a bigger lead. I'm cool.
Well, that's a fine assumption to make, sir, but we don't necessarily agree with you on that one. So, all right, so we got our first game. Jared, who do you like with Company Man versus the Big Green? Both of them, one sitting at 2 and 3, the other sitting at 3 and 2. Company Man, they both get players back this week after.
Company Man made some changes to that lineup. We see he got rid of. He's down to one. He's down to one Raiders wide receiver, and
Indeed,
he made some changes to his lineup. Yo,
He still don't believe in Kareem Hunt. I see.
I
Even,
don't,
even after putting up 20 plus points last week,
I
still
don't know
don't trust
why.
Kareem, huh?
I got more faith in Jameer Gibbs than Kareem Hunt, but I'm not sure about DeAndre Swift. But I
Right,
digress. I don't. He might have bought into the Romeo Dobbs 3 touchdown game, but I would still go Kareem Hunt personally. But that's just me.
right.
Oh, she is still rolling with 2 tight ends. That's what we're doing. I don't think that works this week. I don't particularly like either one of these teams, to be completely honest, but I think I'm going to go with the lesser of two even. But Rico Dowdle over there, I really believe that he's going to try to run through. I think he's going to try to have his best Marshawn Lynch impression and just run through somebody's chest. That's just what because they cut him. Well, I don't
Yeah.
want to say cut him. They
They
decided not to
released
raise.
them.
They released
Yeah.
him and signed somebody for the same amount of money, so it wasn't a money thing. I guess
Business, not personal.
yeah, it's business. And I think he's gonna make it his business to run through somebody's chest. But I don't like Malik Washington. I do not like Theo Johnson. I do not think he scores two
Who does she
touchdowns a game.
have? So I guess that's the question, right? Like she's got a couple of other options. Bucky, you're the Bucks aficionado around
Bucky
here.
ain't playing,
But he's not playing. Okay.
but
So
I
all
don't
right.
think Bucky playing. They just brought in another running back to put on the practice squad. I
Oh
don't think
shit.
Bucky
Bucky
playing this
Bucky
week.
ain't playing then. You ain't
Bucky
got
ain't
one
playing.
then. Bucky ain't playing. Uh,
I don't see Bucky playing this week. I don't. Yeah, I
all right.
just it's gonna be a close one, but I'm going to lean towards Company Man strictly because I think that he gets more points out of Bo Nix than she can get out of Tua, and that will. Plus, I don't trust Zay Flowers. Who's the quarterback? Oh yeah, Cooper Rush. No, I can't trust Cooper Rush. I
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm
He
going with
sure didn't
Company
do nothing
Man.
last week.
He
I'm
did
going to
Mhm.
not.
agree with you. I'm going to agree with you with Company Man. Better matchups, but again, will I be surprised if Big Green doesn't come out and put up the league record this weekend somehow? I won't be surprised at all. You know what I'm saying? So once again, Yahoo is projecting her at around 89 points, and she'll come out and put up 186 or something like that. Somehow, Theo Johnston has a 4 touchdown game. Ramondre Stevenson, who
Thursday night
again,
special.
listen, Ramondre Stevenson, let me just talk about as the person that faced her last week. That boy had 1 carry for 4 yards for the majority of the game. Then all of a sudden, his next 2 carries were for touchdowns. He had 3 carries for 8 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm like, what? What in the Lorenzo Neal is going on here?
Right? Oh, Tennessee Titan right there. I like that.
But all right, Dr. Deuce, so you liking this matchup?
We have a consensus today.
Okay, so
You,
we
you,
ride
you
or
know
die together.
the motto was you can't pick against Big Green until she lost. She lost.
She lost
Right.
twice.
All right. Two boobs, 2 balls, 1 goal versus Bitch, Burrow, and Deal. Dr. Deuce, who you like in this one?
I like the matchups better for 2 balls, 2 boobs because Josh Allen going to put his foot in Atlanta. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. I don't think Atlanta's going to really be able to get to him, and he's going to make up the points that he ain't been doing the last couple of weeks. I
Buffalo
mean, Aaron
lost that
Rodgers is going to
game.
have a game against Cleveland, but I mean, who doesn't? So it's the rest of the lineup that I'm not feeling. So
Buffalo
yeah,
lost that game to
they did, but he
Drake
still had points.
disguised as Tom Brady. Drake
Yeah.
Baker was drinking his TB12 juice on that last drive of the game. So the Bills, I'm pretty sure the Bills are pissed about dropping that matchup. Um, yeah, I'm gonna also go 2 boobs, 2 balls on that again. Yeah, I think Brees Hall is gonna have a good game. Thursday night, I mean, coming off of their first loss of the season, uh, the Eagles know that they have to do something to get their offense going. And with Saquon kind of banged up, I expect them to actually throw the ball. So, who you like, Jared?
I'm gonna have to go with 2 boobs, 2 balls. Just the matchups, like you said, Josh Allen. I've seen Atlanta play this season. That the pass rush is decent, but yeah, I think, like I said, with them coming off that loss, they're gonna try to prove a point. And I just have a feeling that Ted McMillan just decides to show out because it's the Dallas secondary and they're not very good.
This is true. And they have no pass rush. So, all right. So now let us go to Kirkwood facing off against his second co-host in a row this week. Jared, Kirkwood versus Mathis King. Who you like in this one?
Well, considering some of these matchups, I do not like some of Kirkwood's matchups. I do see that Mathis King has went and got a Chargers running back, of course, because he's the Chargers fan. Just stick one in there. They got somebody got to
Hey, the other two are hurt. He's next man up. He gonna get the rock and the cat that we just signed from the practice squad this morning. So
yeah, I still don't like that Derrick Henry matchup because he's they game proof him out, which I don't understand why. I give him the ball in an open space, let him run over people, but I digress.
Right.
I gotta start him though.
Yeah, he is a must start. Like it's not because him being Derrick Henry still means that even behind a shaky O line and with no quarterback, handing him the ball has the potential for a 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Or a
just
fumble.
off the strip, just off, as long as it's not the fourth quarter.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
All right.
I'm gonna go with I don't like some of Mathis King's matchups, but I definitely don't like Kirkwood's matchups for the most. I actually like Christian McCaffrey because our linebackers suck and can't cover running backs. But I like more of Mathis King's matchup, so I'm gonna go that direction.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be the dissenter on this particular pick because I actually do like Kirkwood's matchups. Like I said, I think that Jalen Hurts is gonna have a big game against the Giants. He, divisional foe coming off of a game that they should not have lost this past Sunday. And I think that they're gonna do some good things. So make it official, Dr. Deuce. Are you picking against yourself this week?
I've gone back and forth on this one all day long, to be perfectly honest with you. Do I go with the heart or do I go with, what the spreadsheet says? And so it's hard to pick against myself. So I'm not going to do it. So I got to pick myself.
It is a rare occurrence in this podcast where we do it, but it has been done before. If you want
now, will I be surprised if I get blown out? Nope, I sure won't. But
you went with the heart. Fair enough.
Got to.
All right.
I just think Patrick Mahomes them gonna get into a shootout with Detroit, and that's what's gonna be the difference. Jalen Hurts doesn't have to get in a shootout with the Giants. They're not known to score that many points, so they can run the ball and get away with a W.
I can see Jackson Dart having a multi-turnover game as well against that defense. So it putting them in very easy short field scoring position in Philadelphia tomorrow night. All right, Jared. I'm sorry, not Jared. Dr. Deuce. Me versus Adam.
I honestly don't see this matchup being close for one reason. Oh, okay, maybe two reasons. Dak versus Carolina and Saquon, even though he's let's say tenderfooted, that's what I'm gonna call it. Playing against the Giants, he gonna come out. He was gonna want to do something against the Giants. It's personal. Yes. And honestly, Jonathan Taylor's gonna run all through Arizona. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
So honestly, this is not gonna be a close matchup. It's really not. I hate to say it, but Muff Divers is going down again.
Muff Divers is going down. It's hilarious.
I thought you appreciated it. Well, I just beat him twice in a row.
Oh, I forgot I did literally play back to back.
The first time I beat him by like 6 points. Second time was way more than 6. So.
Just grimy.
I know.
Jared. Well, Muff Divers also finds himself in need of a. Let's see, does he have a tight end on the bench? Okay, he's got Tucker Kraft on the bench.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft, Kyle Pitts. I don't know which one of those.
Rashad White. Yeah, he's got some options on the bench to switch up his roster. So
I ain't
considering
changing
that,
my mind. I stand by my pick.
all
Yeah.
right, Jared, how about you?
Uh, there's the matchups for you, sir, look better. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Devastator in this one. I think even with the changes that Muff Divers could make, I think he might be able to keep it close. But I don't think his team is gonna get it done. His team has always been based off of CD. His team was when it's at its best is CD Lamb and Lamar Jackson. They're both hurt, so I don't see him getting a W this week.
I also am going to pick myself back-to-back weeks against the Cook family. so, so hopefully I can give them these matching L's. And then in our
Yeah.
final
Giving it.
matchup of the week, we have our first place team versus our 12th place team. Uh, I am not going to lament. For some reason, you like Drake May's matchup better this week than Justin Herbert's against Miami. But even still, I'm still going to go with Team Fight Me Back. I'm going to go with the co-host. Harvey's got some room to run against a Jets team that's seriously faltering. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, is going to want a ball. This is going to be a shootout game. Detroit's been scoring a shit ton of, crack ton of points this season, and I do not see that stopping against a Kansas City team that just gave up 31 to Jacksonville. So yeah, I'm going with Jared. What about you, Deuce?
Well, it depends. Are you actually starting Drake May?
Why wouldn't I? He's been he's playing New Orleans. That defense is
At New
like
Orleans at that.
don't matter. It's
No. I'm with you.
And speaking of that other Chargers running back,
I got one too.
Right.
I just because I had on Marion Hampton. I'm like, let me at least go. I'm gonna stick somebody in here.
speaking of the other Chargers running back, who's going to be splitting time?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I changed my kicker because
Yeah.
I thought well, I don't know why I had this thought that the Cardinals could put some points up. Nope, y'all just suck. Get out of my lineup.
Right.
Uh, all right. I'll go with our co-host. You know what? I got you. Co-host for co-host, baby. I got you.
This is what it is.
Unlike one co-host who didn't pick me, but I got you, Mr. Cowan. I got you.
Hey, I'm trying to make up ground on this season average, baby. I got to pick some. I got to make a different pick somewhere.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right, and let's make it official. Jared, who's your pick?
I beat Hanging with Hernandez, I believe 2 weeks ago, and I believe I'm gonna beat him again. I just gotta I gotta get these division games. I gotta get these dubs.
Indeed. All right. Well, those are our picks for week 6. Which NFL games you looking forward to this weekend?
Actually, that Dallas game.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see what happens. I just want to see what happens.
Right. How about you, Jared?
There's always the obvious, it's a given that I want to see my team.
Of course.
But I am intrigued to watch Detroit and Kansas City because I think it's going to be very high scored. I just think there's going to be a lot of points there.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football gives me that same lot of point vibe as well. Just no defense being played.
Well, which one? Since they're doing that stupid doubleheader thing.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Doing that again? Who making the schedule?
I don't know. But this is another Monday Night Football doubleheader week.
Don't you know somebody working in the office? Can we file a formal complaint?
Yeah, you got the Bills and Falcons and Bears and Commanders.
Yeah, I think both of those games. The crazy thing is the total in both of those games for gamblers, it's 49.5 is the total in both games for Monday Night Football. And the favorites are both favored at -4.5, Buffalo and Washington. So either somebody in Vegas is being real lazy or those 4 teams have the exact same characteristics.
When I said my football, I was talking about Washington and Chicago.
Okay.
Random question. Do you think that Caleb Williams can be the first Chicago quarterback to get the 4,000 yards?
Not this season.
I actually looked at his stats. He's on pace for 3,900. I'm
Yep.
like,
That makes it.
I got more rushing yards than that in our game.
you know,
Don't remind us.
Oh, my bad.
So I'm actually so this is one of those rare weeks where I'm actually looking forward to the Thursday night game. The Giants actually showing a little bit of life, and then the face off between Saquon against his old team is always going to be a fun thing to see. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. And then the other game I'm actually looking forward to is good old. Let's see what Joe Flacco looks like as he steps in to the starting role in Cincinnati. So
against Green Bay. Yeah,
yeah,
he's a statue. I think this might be Micah Parsons' coming out game.
right.
He's a
So
statue. Like you can't
so
move.
we'll see how that works out for him. But all right. Best of luck to everybody as you go into week 6. We have another NFL international game this weekend. Let's see. Who's the international game?
Broncos and Jets.
Yep. So, yep.
I ain't getting up early for that game.
More additional proof that we hate Europe as Americans. As we keep sending them these terrible matchups.
Hey, that
So
I can't even say that was sounding good on paper going into the offseason. No, I can't even say that.
take that, London. You send us the World Cup to America. We send you Broncos Jets, baby.
Now let's be
USA.
sans injuries. Minnesota versus Cleveland. No, I can't let it go. It's gonna be good. It won't be good
Should have
either.
been a decent game, but
It should have been a decent game. It wasn't. Okay.
But,
Maybe maybe there's a good game somewhere. They got all these. Maybe one of them sounded good on paper.
yeah. But either way, well, best of luck to you and your fantasy teams and your favorite teams as we go into week 6, which will almost put us at the halfway point for most leagues. But since I'm not facing off against any of you or our teams are not facing each other this weekend, gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck and good luck out there to all of you. Remember, if you want us to review your lineup, we're always happy to check it out and give you our input and help you get that win that hopefully puts you on path to the playoffs. And until next time, peace.